Nigel Farage is ready and he's joining us now. So this is Nigel Farage. Nigel, look, thank you very much. I was not expecting to talk to you about this tonight. Maybe we could have dissected question time, but here we are. What do you make of this? I mean, this is landmark, it's groundbreaking, it's Trump, it's guilty, and it's all 34 counts.
Yes, it's enormous. But, when you look at the fact that the jury was chosen from a district that only had 10% Republican support, you begin to understand the sheer politicization of the American judicial system. This is something I've railed against, actually, for many, many years, and said to friends, this isn't working anymore. 98% of cases in America that go to court result, before they go to court, in guilty verdicts. Everything is wrong about American justice. I can give you some breaking news from Team Trump, which is that the Trump Donation website has crashed in the last half an hour. That tells you one awful lot about what this means. Because, okay, you're just having that conversation about, the middle swing voters. Any fair American can see that this whole case was concocted from day one. They knew exactly what they were doing. They've got this judgment. And I have to say that I now think, I really do genuinely think, that Trump is now going to win the presidency by a very big margin because people realize things are rotten in America.
Could you just explain to us, I mean, look, you know American politics inside out, really. Could you just explain to us exactly why you think this is so rotten? Because they have a very different way of doing things over there, don't they, when it comes to their judicial system?
Well, they do, and they talk about Magna Carta all the time, but actually they've got it wrong. Elected judges elected on manifestos, get Trump, and they're elected. Juries who are, well, they were certainly, this judge told them exactly what they had to do, and they jolly well did it. The absolute politicization of judiciary from top to bottom in America. It's not working anymore. It needs a really radical president to look at this system and to change it. And, how on earth can anybody have a judge presiding over their case who openly, publicly says he hates Trump and wants to get him? The whole thing, Patrick, you can't believe how rotten this has become. And the left, the modern left in America and parts of it in the UK, and we see it through cancel culture and much else, they are so obsessed with beating their opponents, they will sink to any levels to do it. I repeat the point. Fair-minded Americans will look at this and say it's simply wrong.
Do you think you will see the inside of a prison cell?
I think that's unlikely because there is an appeals process. He will obviously use that. And you would have thought that any judge that wanted to maintain peace and order in America daren't do it. But I'll be honest with you, I never thought on the very odd case that because this had happened, it might have affected the election. I never thought a jury would unanimously find him guilty on all 34 counts. So I could be wrong. Maybe he will go to prison. Maybe he'll be a modern-day martyr, for all I know.
Are you still going to be going out and helping him out in his campaign then, despite this?
Oh, good Lord, yes. In fact, Patrick, I'd planned to be there today, but because of the UK general election, just too much else going on. But I will definitely be there on the 11th of July when this sentencing takes place. And I'll be there with the GB News film crew, and we'll capture every moment of something. I mean, this is one of the biggest stories in history.
Yeah, it is. What's your message to Donald Trump? I'm not going to go as far as to say you've got him on speed dial, but you have got a very good relationship with him. I've seen that firsthand myself. What are you going to say to him?
Stay strong, and he will. He will. He is the most remarkable human being. Whatever they throw at this bloke, he is tough, he is resilient. In fact, the worse they behave, and we've been through it all before, haven't we? The Russia hoax, the Ukraine impeachments, and now this. Whatever they throw at him, in some ways makes him more determined and makes him feel that he's even more of a figure that has to get America back on track to being a decent, sensible country.
You mentioned in the statement that you put out the day after the general election was called that it's vital for the world that America gets its next choice right. OK. Who are the big winners from Trump's guilty verdict here now, do you think?
The warmongers. The warmongers. Those that want America, to go to war. Trump has been a peacemaker. This is what everyone forgets. The Abraham Accords, crossing the line into North Korea. This is not really what they wanted. This sort of neocon attitude that took root 20 years ago is as deeply embedded in the Democrats, actually, as it is within the Republicans. And they can't bear the thought of Trump going around the world negotiating peace deals. They all seem to want the Ukraine war to go on for as long as it possibly can, whereas he wants to try and find some, if it's possible, negotiated settlement. So they are big winners. And the Democrats think they're big winners. But you know something? They're going to come out of this as very big losers, in my opinion.
I really appreciate your time this evening. I know that you've raced home and you come on for us, and I hope that you don't mind. I would just like a couple more points with you, if that's okay, because I want to know what you think this means for Britain. OK, because we're looking at live shots here from New York. We've been camped outside that New York courthouse for however long. We've just spoken about a very internationalist look there about what this might mean on the geopolitical stage. But what does this mean for Britain? How does our government now have to respond to the fact that President Trump has just been found guilty of all 34 counts?
They're going to find it very awkward. Very awkward. But then, to be honest, this government's been pretty arm's length with Trump all the way through. Interesting that David Lammy has been out to meet Trump's team. Maybe Labour will take a different view. I don't know. Look, the most important thing to remember is this. America are our key ally. They are our biggest trading partner in the world as a country, as opposed to a trading bloc. And I've just always had this view that we're living now in a more dangerous world than at any point since the Cuban Missile Crisis. And I put it to everyone, whether you like this man's style or you don't, whether you like his outlandishness or you don't, the world will be a safer place if he's back as the 47th president and not Joe Biden and the Democrats, who frankly have been disastrous. And ever since the fall of Kabul, the world's bullies have seen this as an opportunity to advance. So it is in Britain's interest that we have a president who is pro-Britain. Biden's not, by the way, as you know, very much on the side of Irish nationalism. A president that can bully the other NATO members into actually upping their defence spending. And a president, as the leader of the free world, who people like Putin actually fear.